How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition add-on. Today we'll be looking at Paleocraft, 65 million blocks in the making. As you can see, there's already quite a few really interesting and cool-looking dinosaurs included in this. I used to play this add-on quite a bit back in the day when I was younger. I think when I don't remember how old I was, but it was years ago. I'll tell you that. And I remember it being like a mix between like some paleo accurate and some Jurassic Park inspired. Like that Dryosaurus, for example, looks very much like the Jurassic World Evolution Dryosaurus. So I kind of feel like that's like the intention of a lot of these fellas. But anyway, there's a lot of creatures that we can look at here. So we got another jam-packed kind of creature showcase to dive into. So let's just go ahead and get things started. So first up, we have Stygimoloch, the old classic Stygimoloch, potentially a younger Pachycephalosaurus, potentially another species of Pachycephalosaurus, potentially its own thing. Here's what it looks like. Oh, that looks pretty decent. Yeah, it's got its bump on its head. It's got the spikes towards the back of the head. It's got its, it's got its beak and everything. It's got the whole body shape of Stygimoloch. Pretty good. Pretty good design. Nasutoceratops is next. Nasutoceratops is a very cool ceratopsian. Let's see it. Yeah, they captured it pretty well, Nasutoceratops translates to big nose, horned face. And, it has a huge schnoz right here that's all rounded. And these really cool brow horns that grow out to the side first and then curve forward. It's very similar to bull horns. They captured that pretty well right here. Yeah, this is a different type of mod. A lot of the other mods that we've looked at kind of like still gave them more of like a blocky texture overall. This one rounds some things out every once in a while, though it is still kind of blocky. But it is a little bit different in that way. Still looks pretty good, but it's just a bit different. Polacanthus, an ankylosaurian, notosaurid. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. It's huge. They made it absolutely huge, but it's got all of its osteoderms. Head shape looks pretty decent, and it captures the idea pretty well. Liopleurodon. I am not near water. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the closest is this one over here. Oopsies. But the magical Liopleurodon. We'll see if this is like a little bit more accurate in terms of its size instead of being like the Walking with Dinosaurs. But I guarantee, especially judging by the coloration of its spawn egg, it's probably going to look like it's probably going to have the same colors as Walking with Dinosaurs. See, looks just like Walking with Dinosaurs. It is a bit close. Actually, it is pretty close in size. Liopleurodon was, not nearly as large as it was in Walking with Dinosaurs. In Walking with Dinosaurs, it was portrayed as being like, around 20 meters or something like that? Anyway, Pteranodon longiceps. Pteranodon longiceps is the one with like the thinner crest. Oh, hello there, sauropod. It's got like a thinner, more banana-shaped crest, I suppose is a good way to describe it. And yeah, this is what it looks like. Look as it flies away. That looks pretty good, though. It's got the proper crest shape down. The wing membrane looks pretty good, especially with its extended wing finger. Yeah, it looks good. I like it. Zenuanopterus. Oh, it's another pterosaur. Dang it, man. They really take off, don't they? Oh, you have a cool looking face. Yeah, you got more of a crest, interestingly shaped beak. You got a rounded, oh my gosh. Hold the fudge still. Okay. Yeah, it's got more of like a rounded crest. Okay, we're putting you indoors. Yeah, it's got a little bit more of a rounded crest, and the beak shape is really interesting. It's got those really interesting looking teeth. Very cool. Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think everybody knows the whole tyrant reptile king. Yeah, so instead of like being closer to paleo accurate, it is of course like the Jurassic Park T-Rex. And it goes straight to work. In the way that it has more of like a blocky skull. The same type of roar and the same type of coloration. Pretty cool, though. It looks pretty dang cool. Eutyrannus, Holly, bloop. Wow, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, they incorporated some feathers to it. You can see some feathers on the neck here. It has a little bit of a crest, though the crest is situated over the eye, when in reality it would have been situated on the lacrimal, which is right in front of the eye. And it does have like a little bit of a ridge right here on the nasal portion of its skull. It looks pretty cool, though. It is loud. It is very loud. It's pretty cool. I like the colors. Yeah, and look, it's got like feathers on its arms too. Very cool. Utah Raptor. Everybody knows the classic Utah Raptor. We've been getting a lot of Utah Raptor content recently. Oh, walking with dinosaurs colors, but this time with feathers and more of a bulk. That looks sick. I like that. That's awesome. Oh, this child murdered you. Wow. All right, let's oh no, the child. Run before the child tastes blood again. Anyway, that looks really cool. It's the walking with dinosaurs colors, but this time it has feathers on it. Don't you do it. Yeah, I like it. I wish I had lips, but it looks great. I like it. All right, well, now we'll move on to the next little thing. Herrerasaurus, an early dinosaur. Yeah, that's kind of how I expected it to look. That's very close to, I think, the way that it looked in Jurassic Park the game, like the Telltale game. It looks pretty cool, though. It's got the blocky skull that Herrerasaurus does. It's pretty decent. I like it. Hybotus, the name sounds familiar, but I'm not too sure. Oops, I am so sorry, Hybotus, but I've definitely seen you before. You've got these really interesting structures on your face. Pretty cool overall. Hey, the T-Rex isn't going after the Brachiosaurs. Wow. If this was evolution, it would have. Look at the Ceratosaurus over there. What do we have next? Tupandactylus. Of course, this is a pterosaur, so to get a better look at it, we're going to be going indoors. Actually, we'll go down here. Tupandactylus. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's magic. Okay. Tupandactylus does have a crest. This does look like it's inspired from its appearance from Walking with Dinosaurs as well. That's one of the cool things about this add-on, which I mentioned before, is that it gets kind of like a mixture of a lot of different things. Like there's some accurate, there's some Jurassic franchise, and there is some documentaries, which is something that I don't remember as much, which is cool. It's cool that they did that, you know. Anyway, go and move on. Chasmosaurus. We will check. I wonder if you'll look like your Planet Dinosaur appearance. Ooh, different colors. I like them. I like when they give frills like brighter coloration, because frills likely would have been mostly used for display. They're pretty good. They're pretty good though. They look a lot like Chasmosaurus, especially with that frill shape. Chasmosaurus has a very squared frill. Pretty cool. Majungasaurus, Prenatissimus. We will place you here. Oh my. Oh geez. Okay. I was like, wow. I mean, it's small. I mean, like, Majungasaurus was small, but it wasn't that small, so I was confused for a second. Its adult size is too large. Majungasaurus was surprisingly small. It was not taller than pretty much most humans, Majungasaurus. So this guy is definitely oversized. Pretty cool though. It's got the whole skull shape correct. Majungasaurus had like more of an elongated snout compared to other abelisaurs that kind of curved downwards, kind of how it's portrayed right here. And it does have that structure on its forehead. So pretty cool overall. Velociraptor mongoliensis. So because it's called mongoliensis, I assume this is going to be paleo accurate. Yeah. Oh, I like it. The feathers look nice on this one. Yeah, it's got basically the correct skull shape. Like the snout's a little bit thinner. I like it. That looks good. Nautilops. I am not too sure what you are. Yeah, should have figured. When I don't recognize it, it's probably an aquatic critter. Anyway. Anyway, Rhamphorhynchus. We know about Rhamphorhynchus. Cool little pterosaur. I wonder if it'll have the Walking with Dinosaurs color. It can fit in with the Tupandactylus. Not quite. It looks good, though, from what I can see anyway. The skull shape looks pretty dang good. I like the way that the wings look, and it has its long tail with the really weird-looking fan at the end of it. I like it. I like it. I wish I could see your face a little bit more because I want to see if you have the needle teeth that angle outward, which is something that Rhamphorhynchus does have. Come back, you little flying rat. There it goes. I don't know if it does. I don't really see anything, at least not obvious. If it does, it's kind of a little bit more subtle. Centaurosaurus. This is a hadrosaur. Yeah, back up. Let's see. We'll place you right here. Yeah, it's like one of those hadrosaurs that, of course, has a very interesting looking crest shape. This looks pretty decent overall. It's obviously a lambeosaurine. They have crest shapes like that. We'll go ahead and move on. Daspletosaurus, a tyrannosaurid. That's pretty cool. It's huge. It's absolutely... Jeez, the T-Rex didn't even go after the Brachiosaurus. Unless it did and it's dead now. Which is a possibility. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's got a smaller snout from like the T-Rex, which is true. Yeah, pretty cool overall. The Majungasaurus wants its number, though. And the Majungasaurus wins. Suchomimus. Will the Majungasaurus kill this? Is it going to recreate Chaos Theory? Oh, it's the Jurassic World Evolution Suchomimus. There we go. Yeah, Suchomimus was pretty big. I was like, that seems a bit small. But yeah, that looks good. The Evolution Suchomimus and also the website Suchomimus, like the Jurassic World website Suchomimus, they look great. Like they got the whole basic shape down and the snout looks pretty dang good. Colors also look great. And you can see where there would be some tall, narrow spines as well. You know, which is something that Suchomimus had. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Segisaurus. Hebadoo. Yeah, these guys recently got added to Evolution 2. They look good. I like them. Tylosaurus. Oh my gosh. It's going back to its lizard roots. It's crawling around. Yeah, Tylosaurus is a mosasaur. It's a type of mosasaur. Its snout is not nearly as thin as Tylosaurus's was, but this does look good. It's got counter shading too, which always makes sense, and a little bit of a tail fluke. So I like it. And that Suchomimus took revenge for what happened in Chaos Theory. Anyway, Tropeognathus, another pterosaur that we saw in Walking with Dinosaurs. Holy moly. It was a big pterosaur too. Yeah, it's got its proper beak shape. It's got the needle-like teeth. Stop flying away, you nerd. It's got the proper beak shape and the needle-like teeth. It looks good. I like it. And the colors seem pretty reminiscent to its appearance in Walking with Dinosaurs. Lielanosaura. Very interesting inclusion. Is it going to look like... Is it going to look the way that it did in Walking with Dinosaurs? Is it not going to have feathers or a long tail? It has a long tail. Yeah, it has its long tail, but it's got like the same kind of colors, basically. Same basic idea as Walking with Dinosaurs. Because in Walking with Dinosaurs, in the Australian episode, or rather the Antarctica episode that had Australian dinosaurs, they were featherless, of course, and they looked a lot more like this. Lielanosaura likely did have feathers, and obviously, it's likely that it did have a long tail as well. These guys look pretty cool, though. They're like kind of classic in their appearance. Oviraptor. Oh, that looks nice. Huge crest. That's pretty cool. They of course do have feathers as well. That's very nice. This kind of looks like a little bit like a cassowary. Troodon formosus. Oh, talk about Jurassic Park the game. Same coloration as that. It just doesn't really have any quills like the game. It also lacks the feathers, which is something that Troodontids did have. Anyway, very cool, though. Classic coloration. Triceratops. Okay, stop going after sauropods, you weirdo. Triceratops horridus. Bloop. Jeez, I was about to say they're small. Yeah, this is Jurassic Park right here. The huge frill that they had in Jurassic Park, like huge and rounded, with the very pronounced epiccipitals, which are those structures that are on their episquamosal and parietals, like with the all of that frill right there. It looks a lot like horridus. Its nasal horn is pretty reduced, all things considered, so it's kind of close. Quite like it. Jeez, man, I feel like we're making very little progress here. Did I just see more Suchomimus, I just realized? Suchomimus tenerensis. Did I accidentally grab, like, Suchomimus? I accidentally grabbed Suchomimus 2 more times. That's annoying. Pterodactylus. Hey, Bloom. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Pterodactylus was a pretty small pterosaur. It also had like needle-like teeth and a little bit of a crest as well. Kind of similar to this. It was pretty small, all things considered. So they did nail that. Psittacosaurus mongoliensis, which is one of the named species of Psittacosaurus. They gave it the coloration of the unnamed species and the quill-like structures of the unnamed species, because many of you probably know that Psittacosaurus, there's like a very well preserved Psittacosaurus specimen that tells us its colors and tells us basically everything about the animal, even its cloaca. That species is known as Psittacosaurus sp. It's kind of like an unnamed species. So it just looks like because there's a lot of species of Psittacosaurus that we know of, like 16, I think. And Mongoliensis is one of them. We don't quite know what Mongoliensis looks like, but having it based off of SP is not a bad route. Ooh, Rugops, a little abelosaurid from Africa. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's got a really cool rounded shape, some interesting looking spikes, and a yellow and black coloration. It does look like an abelosaurid. Like they nailed the arms, the backwards facing arms and everything. I like that. Styracosaurus, albertensis. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, they got the frill spikes, got the nasal horn. Practically everything that you'd expect to see from a Styracosaurus is present there. What'd be cool is if I place down enough of them, I'd get some of the like the asymmetry. Because obviously the specimen known as Hannah has 4 spikes on one side and 3 spikes on the other, which means that she is asymmetrical. She or he, of course, we don't know what gender they are. But I don't know if that's the case here. It'd be cool. I doubt if it's the case, but it would be cool. What was this? Burma Culix? Antiquus? Oh! Looks like little bugs. Little bugs. Look at them go. Let's get a lot of bugs here. Therizinosaurus, we all know that. Oh. There it is. Hands are facing the proper way. I think that's been true for practically every single theropod we've seen. Their hands are facing the correct direction. And it does have the huge, huge claws. It's got some feathers as well. And the face looks pretty darn good, too. I like it. Very nice. Struthiomimus altus. Question is it going to look like Jurassic World Evolution and be naked? Or is it going to be feathered? It's Jurassic World Evolution. It looks good, though. It looks like, in terms of like comparing it to Evolution, Jurassic World Evolution, it looks pretty spot on. Especially with the striping and everything. Can I get like different colors? Yeah, there's some. Yeah, it looks good in that department. Obviously, Struthiomimus would have had feathers. But yeah, that's pretty cool in that context. Okay, Protoceratops andrewsi. Oh, wow, it's huge. Wow, it really upscaled you. Looks good. Love those colors. Got like some zebra stripes. Oh, and some, wow, look how many bristles they put here. Holy moly, that's insane. Must be some sexual dimorphism. Like, if I were to guess, this might be the male and that might be the female. That's so interesting. They put so many bristles. That is so fascinating. Stegosaurus ungulatus, interestingly. We'll place that down. Ooh. Yeah, that is the Jurassic Park Stegosaurus. One of the ways you could tell is how short that neck is and how huge and curved it is right there. Or, yeah, it's like the Lost World Stegosaurus, which looks pretty good. Thagomisers, they're kind of sticking outwards, when in reality they would have, like, stuck backwards a little bit. But still, looks very cool. Very cool colors present on here. Spinosaurus aegypticus. I do remember, I don't know if we're going to see it quite yet, but I do remember that there's, like, multiple species of Spinosaurus in this, and I'll talk about it later when we get to the next species. But obviously, we only know of one species in the fossil record currently, and that is Aegypticus. Now, I can't remember if this was accurate. Of course, it depends on when this... Oh, you must be Ornitholestes. I bet you are, since they gave you the incorrect nasal crest. We will see eventually. But if this... I can't remember. This might have come out after 2020. If it did, then it likely does have the proper tail. Proper tail. It did come out after 2020. Ooh, Jurassic Park 3 colors. That is so cool. But it is a pretty correct Spinosaurus. Like the whole basic body plan is there. They went for more of like a M shape of the sail, which we don't quite know what what shape the sail took. It's got the huge arms and of course the basilisk-like tail. And you get different colors, but I love the fact that they gave you like the Jurassic Park 3 colors. The neck looks really good too. That is sick. They nailed it with that. That is awesome. Next up is Sinoceratops. You are definitely the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom one, which means that it doesn't look that great. Kind of looks a little bit more like a Pachyrhinosaurus, lacustae specifically, because you could see those little two horns right here at the base of the frill, which is something that Pachyrhinosaurus lacustae had. And this for the frill shape is a little bit more similar to Pachyrhinosaurus. And that's because I think the story goes that when Sinoceratops was first being designed for the movie, they wanted it to be Pachyrhinosaurus. And, you know, they like gave it a horn and everything. But I think someone stopped them and said, hey, Pachyrhinosaurus doesn't have this huge nasal horn. And they just changed it to Sinoceratops. And so it looks a little bit more like Pachyrhinosaurus in terms of its whole skull shape and everything. But it still doesn't really look great as either of those animals, if you ask me. One of my least favorite designs in the franchise. This was a Amargasaurus. Oh, they gave it the sail instead of the spikes. That's good. Amargasaurus did have like these tall extensions, you know, these neural spines on its neck and a little bit on its back that were at one point thought to possibly be spikes, but recent analysis of them determined that they share the characteristics of structures that were covered in soft tissue rather than being covered in keratin. So they weren't spikes, they were likely just like a pair of sails. So that's accurate in that way. Plus the size is pretty close. Amargasaurus is a dicrasaurid, which are sauropods that are relatively small, even though it's huge still, but small for sauropod standards. Like it's definitely not as big as that Brachiosaurus. Hypsilophodon. Ooh. You look pretty cool. Make interesting sounds. Very cool. Saurophaganax, Maximus, nowadays considered Allosaurus anax, and the name of Saurophaganax is likely going to be assigned to a sauropod. Possibly, potentially, in the future. We'll see where things go with that, but that's currently where we sit. Oh, hey, they like made it look like the Jurassic World Allosaurus. So yeah, you basically could look at this as like Allosaurus anax, which is the largest species of Allosaurus that we know of right now. That's cool. I like that. Sarcosuchus, a giant croc relative. Not quite a crocodile. Ooh, that is cool. The Tylosaur wanted a piece of it. Let's place you over here. It looks pretty good. It's got the very weird looking shaped snout, which is something they did have, and the huge appearance. Very cool. Pliosaurus, of course, this is a marine reptile. Ooh, that looks pretty decent. Yeah, it's got like the huge teeth up here. Very much looks like a pliosaur. I like it. Oh, for some reason, the mosasaur can survive out of the water, but you can't. Next up, we have Ornithomimus. It's probably going to be naked, right? Yeah, it looks a lot like the Struthiomimus, but this time with a blue coloration. I feel like the blue coloration is more so a reference to Prehistoric Park, as the Ornithomimuses were overall a little bit more blue in that. And, of course, they were naked in that. Metriacanthosaurus, is it going to look like the Jurassic World website? I hope so. It does. Yes. I love the way that it looks in the Jurassic World website. Oh my gosh, that Protoceratops just killed it. But very good. I love it. I love the colors. If you make it look like the Jurassic World website, then I'm going to love the way that it looks. Pachyrhinosaurus canadaensis, one of the 3 known species of Pachyrhinosaurus. They gave it these horns right here, which I've noticed a lot of people, I've noticed this recently, a lot of people do reconstruct Pachyrhinosaurus canadaensis with the horns, which is something that we only know that lacustae had. Now, I don't think, if memory serves me correctly, I think that the skull of Pachyrhinosaurus canadaensis is incomplete. So, there is a chance that it had those, but we don't really know. Anyway, it does have the nasal boss, and the whole body plan looks pretty decent overall. Quite like it. It's my favorite ceratopsian. Ooh, Muttaburrasaurus. This is my favorite Australian dinosaur. Let's see it. It looks good. Only issue that I have with it is the fact that it's quadrupedal. Muttaburrasaurus was a bipedal dinosaur that could switch to being quadrupedal every once in a while if it was leaning down to get something to drink or something to eat. But it was mostly bipedal. You know, it was mostly walking around on its hind limbs. That's my only drawback. Everything else looks good. It's got like the really weird nasal structure up here. Pretty good. Proceratosaurus. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, nice. Yeah, that looks a lot like the Jurassic World evolution. Run, run, run. He just saw his buddy get killed and he just dipped. Run! Anyway, yeah, complete with some of the colors, it looks very similar to the Jurassic World evolution. Proceratosaurus. Parasaurolophus. Let's see how this looks. Jurassic Park-like. Very thin neck. Looks pretty good though. You know, you could tell it's Parasaurolophus, which is important. It's got the proper crest and everything. Ichthyosaurus. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, Walking with Dinosaurs, Ichthyosaurus. Nice, good choice. Good choice because it looks really cool in that. Yeah, you know, looks a lot like a dolphin, which is an example of convergent evolution because, of course, ichthyosaurs, they are reptiles, whereas dolphins are mammals. Rapinomamus. I don't know what you are. Oh, you're a little... That's Stegosaurus once you dead. It's a little mammal, though. Kind of looks like it has a little, like, some hint to the Didelphodon coloration, but obviously not complete like that. Plesiosaurus. Nice. It's got the long neck, small head, and interlocking teeth. Interesting. And an overall streamlined body. Looks pretty good. Okay, that was the first chest. Now we're on to the second chest. Let's get her done. Ophthalmosaurus. Oh, that's right. That's the one that shows up in Walking with Dinosaurs. I believe so. That name does ring a bell. I think this is the specific type of ichthyosaur that shows up in Walking with Dinosaurs. The coloration is 1-for-1 for its appearance in Walking with Dinosaurs. So it looks great. Kentrosaurus. Well, looks pretty good. Yeah, it's got the possible shoulder spike that Kentrosaurus possibly had, and it's got like the plates that transition into spikes. So it looks pretty good. I like it. Placerius. Please tell me it looks like the Walking with Dinosaurs Placerius. Yeah, it does. Same basic coloration and everything. Placerius is a very cool Dicynodont. It's got these huge tusks and this beak right here. It was overall pretty big. Not nearly as cool as Lissovicia, but it was still pretty cool. Pachycephalosaurus. Ooh. Oh, and yeah, you also get one with the Jurassic World or the Jurassic Park, the Lost World coloration. That's pretty cool. Looks pretty good. I like it. Troodon diabolus. Ooh. Ooh, this one. That one was like a simple reference to the Jurassic Park the game. This one is a lot closer in terms of like the colors are not 1-for-1, but the patterns are, and it has poison. I saw yes, you could like poison it there. And it has like the huge glowing eyes. That's probably why it's called Diabolus. So that's a fictional species right there. Ouranosaurus. Let's check this out. Ooh. That looks pretty good. I like it. Kind of looks like they made this. No, the sail looks pretty decent. That looks good. It looks good. I like it. It looks good. I believe the Ouranosaurus was mostly bipedal as well, but it still looks pretty good. Ornitholestes, I bet it has the crest. So Ornitholestes, yeah, this is the way it looked in Walking with Dinosaurs. It was once believed that Ornitholestes had a crest, but like on the nose, on the nasal portion. But the skull that was found, the reason why they thought it had a crest is because it was broken towards the tip, like towards the end of the snout right there. So it was believed, hey, this is where a crest would grow. Later, it was found that, no, there's no evidence of a crest. And every time I mention that, there's always people who say, oh, it could be sexual dimorphism. They could have still had a crest. We don't have any evidence for them having a crest, period. It was just a broken skull that was misidentified. So as far as we know, Ornitholestes is a crestless dinosaur. There's like no evidence that any of them would have a crest. Ludodactylus. Oh... And it fades through. So Ludodactylus, huh? It honestly looks pretty similar to the Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon. which I believe that if I remember correct, no, Ludodactylus was not in the novel. I think it was Sierradactylus. Huh, well, interesting design choice, I suppose. Onchopristis. This is a giant sawfish-like fish that Spinosaurus would eat. So obviously we need to place it down with the Spinosaurus. Let's see if they have like the basic proper size down. Oh, yeah, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. It was a huge, huge fish. I'm telling you, the fish that Spinosaurus would eat, it was not joke fish. They were impressive fish. I'll tell you that. Mosasaurus hoffmanni, which is the largest species of Mosasaurus that we know of. Yeah, I kind of figured it'd have osteoderms. So it has osteoderms similar to the Jurassic World Mosasaurus. Mosasaurus didn't have osteoderms. Mosasaurus was actually a type of marine lizard, like a giant lizard. The whole shape of it looks good, though, and it has counter shading, which is always good. Microceratus. See how this looks. Ooh. Interesting. I think that these are kind of similar to the website design for Jurassic World. I like them, though. I like the colors. I think I like them more than the official Dominion version. Leptoceratops, another little ceratopsian. And they gave it little bristles as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Guanodon. See how this looks. Kind of similar to the Walking with Dinosaurs Iguanodon, which is awesome. Yeah, I think we saw one of them walking around, and yeah, they do have their huge arms with their thumb claw by the looks of it. Pretty darn cool. Huyangosaurus. Nice, nice. I like the colors on those fellas. Goniopholis. Oh, that's right. Yeah, a little croc relative. Cool. And here's what I was talking about. This is a fictional species of Spinosaurus called Spinosaurus giganticus, which, judging from the name, you could probably guess what they're about to do with this. You have the Egypticus over here, which is a little bit more paleo-accurate, and then you have Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. Yeah, so they made it basically into a fictional species where it has like the longer legs, the lack of a basilisk-like tail, arms that are breaking, and this one has more of a rounded sail. Don't you dare go after the accurate Spinosaurus. Oh no! Accurate Spinosaurus, fight back! No! Why did I spawn them next to each other? Why? Well, these guys are going to wreak havoc. So Velociraptor tigris, this is most likely going to look like the Jurassic Park Velociraptors. I'm assuming the Lost World, considering the fact that they do have more of a tiger stripe going on. Oh. It's like a mix of both, like Jurassic Park 1 and Jurassic Park 2 here. And yeah, again, another fictional species here. You had Mongoliensis somewhere around here. And then you have Tigris, which is, you know, movie version. Oh my gosh, man. There's still so much to go through. Giganotosaurus. Blue. Oh, it kind of looks like the evolution. Oh yeah, that looks like the evolution one, even with like the row of spines going down the middle. See if we can get one that's bigger. There we go. Yeah, pretty good. Looks better than Dominion. I said it. I'll continue to say it. Gallimimus bellatus probably doesn't have feathers either. No ornithomimid has feathers in this. This is, again, the Jurassic Park / World Gallimimus. It's huge, though, which is correct for Gallimimus, but still naked. No, run, little baby. Oh, I thought you were going to die. Okay. Epidexipteryx. Yeah, I figured they'd kind of look like how they did in Planet Dinosaur a little bit. There's a chance that these guys have like little membrane wings because they're very closely related to Ishi, but that's not really confirmed. Still look good, though. I like them. Ooh, Edmontosaurus. Let's see what it looks like. Is it going to look like the website design? I hope so. That'd be cool. Oh, just evolution. Jurassic World evolution, which is fine. Evolution has a pretty decent Edmontosaurus design. And it's called Regalis, right? Yeah. Regalis is the only one that we know of that has this fleshy comb on its head. It's the only species that we know of Edmontosaurus. So it's cool that it's portrayed here. And yeah, they got the same patterns and everything as Evolution. Elasmosaurus, let's see it. Nice, nice. You got the interlocking teeth too, which is correct. Very long neck and very streamlined body, and some counter shading. Dryosaurus altus, yeah, looks like Evolution. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. Let's just. Oh, it's a little dragonfly and or dragonfly relative. Dimorphodon, a little pterosaur. It looks like the Jurassic World one. Yeah, it's got more of a blocky head, like not blocky in the sense of like Minecraft, blocky in the sense that it's a lot more like a T-Rex head, which is how they portrayed them in Jurassic World. Dimorphodon had a smaller, more rounded head than what's kind of shown. Pretty cool though. Dilophosaurus, dang it! I mean, at least they're larger. Yeah. Much larger. Okay, that doesn't look bad. Obviously, it's got the more correct size down. It had just like it's kind of like a mixture of accurate and inaccurate in the fact that it's got like the same type of coloration that the Jurassic Park version has, and the same way that the crests are set up as well. But it's got like the more accurate size, and honestly, it's a pretty cool combination. I just wish that they would commit to giving us a large one in the franchise. Okay, we got, I believe this was Didelphodon. Yeah, so yeah, I figured they look like they do in Walking with Dinosaurs. They look cool. I like them. Deinosuchus hatcherii. A large croc relative here. That's so sick. That's so cool and terrifying at the same time. Deinonychus anteropus. Let's see how it looks. Feathers. Yeah, it has feathers, but it has like the same coloration as the Jurassic Park Velociraptors, which is probably a reference to the fact that the Jurassic Park Velociraptors are Deinonychus, like they were based off of Deinonychus. Uh-oh. Darwin nihilus. Ooh. Okay. Cryolophosaurus. Holy moly, you're big. But yeah, it has the Elvis crest. Coloration looks pretty sick as well. Ooh, I like your colors. Your colors are pretty cool. Corythosaurus, another hadrosaur, Lambeosaurine. Very nice, very nice. Very Jurassic Park 3. Archaeopteryx. That's an interesting design for it. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting design. Not bad. It's got feathers, as Archaeopteryx did. Interesting. Ooh, Concavinator. I'm kind of curious to see how this ends up looking. Ooh, man, they made it huge. Looks good, though. It's got the proper Carcharodontosaur head shape, and it's got the strange hump-like structure back here. Some scientists, they'll connect it, or some people who reconstruct it, they'll connect it like with skin right here to make it look more like a more rounded hump. But that's a decent depiction as well. Compsognathus, gonna look like Jurassic Park. Yeah. There we go. Compies. Almost there, everybody. Coelacanth. Giant fish that is often called a living fossil. We thought it was extinct. Then we found it hiding in caves. Chilosaurus. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like your... Run from the Didelphodon. Run! The Compy tag team. Oh my gosh. What have I done? Not the cool colored one. Ceratosaurus. I already saw them walking around. They're going to look like the Jurassic Park 3 Ceratosaurus. Yeah. At least their lacrimal crests are a little bit more pronounced, even though they're set right above the eye. That's definitely oversized, but yeah, it's based off of Jurassic Park 3. Carnotaurus. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, so that's Jurassic World right there, and you got the same kind of coloration. It looks good, though. I like it. It's dead now. Carcharodontosaurus saharicus. Let's see it. Ooh, that looks kind of decent. That's the that's very clearly the Jurassic Park Operation Genesis colors, which are the best colors for Carcharodontosaurus. I like it. Looks great. Camarasaurus, I think we saw you. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. It's got the same basic shape as Camarasaurus. And obviously we've seen a lot of the Giraffatitan here, as the Jurassic Park version of Brachiosaurus is actually Giraffatitan. Pretty cool though. Bellamite. Look at them. Baryonyx. Please don't look like the Jurassic World one. That looks so good. I like that way more than the Jurassic World Baryonyx, especially with the colors around the eyes and the thinner snouts and everything. The body plan looks a lot closer to Baryonyx. That looks great. I like that. Obviously, in terms of the patterns and everything, it's a little bit more similar to the website design of Baryonyx, which I much more prefer. Oh no. Why do you guys try to fight sauropods? Habadoo. I didn't even check. Ankylosaurus. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. Jurassic Park / World. Not bad. Not bad. Apatosaurus Ajax. I saw one of them walking around. It's going to look like the Jurassic World one. Yeah. Which is not really a terrible depiction of Apatosaurus. Like, it's got the basic idea down. Like the elongated skull and the whole huge bulk that it had. Ammonite. This will look pretty cool. Nice. And see how rounded that is? That's oh. Okay, it was just a bluff charge. Albertosaurus, sarcophagus. Yeah, it's got like more of a bulky skull. It kind of seems like it's more so based on... Oh my gosh! It seems like it's more so based on the... the evolution version. Yeah, you know, and it has like its eye structures and everything. Again, there's a little bit too far back and the patterns are the same. Kilobator. Ooh, this will be interesting. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, I like that. That looks pretty good. A Kilobator was another large dromaeosaur. Not quite as large as Utah Raptor, but it was still pretty large. And then Acrocanthosaurus. Let's see what you look like. You look like the evolution one, which I quite like the way the evolution one looks. Especially considering the fact that they gave it more of a hump down the middle of its back rather than like a small sail. And then finally, Allosaurus fragilis. Let's see what it looks like. Hey, walking with dinosaurs. That is sick. That is like a great way to end it off because I love the colors of the walking with dinosaurs Allosaurus, especially with the red and everything. It kind of seems like they shifted the crest a little bit more forward, which is pretty correct. And yeah, just awesome colors and just looks really good. You can have Big Al in your park, basically. Very nice. I like it. That's pretty cool. That's like a good one to have it ended off with. So obviously there's way more to this add-on. You get this whole world that you get to explore and you can kind of discover the dinosaurs on your own. Oh, look at that. Jurassic Park 3 Brachiosaurus. Sweet. I love the colors of the Jurassic Park 3 Brachiosaurus. But yeah, again, you get a huge expansive world with some, like there's roads that you can follow that lead to different things. Dinosaurs spawn naturally and you can try to avoid them or confront them, I suppose. And there's some buildings and things that you can find at different biomes that you can check out. A whole lot of things that you can do. If you chose to download it, you can always leave the island and try to go over there. But yeah, I played around with it a lot a few years ago, back when I first got it, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun overall. As you saw, there's a lot of creatures that you can check out. There's vehicles. There's, I believe, some weaponry you can download. There's bridges, very important. More bridges. A lot of really cool stuff to check out with this add-on. So I do recommend it. I think it's pretty fun overall. And that's pretty much all I have for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, have an awesome day.